My opponents would actually say that increasing minimum wage for prisoners would be a good thing for most of them, as for them to be paid equally as compared to us. Though, what we know is that there could be disadvantages to basically raising minimum wages. In today's problem, we see that even though that even when they get out of prison, we see that the current minimum wage may not be good, may not be susceptible to making a living. Even in what Gibson wrote in one article stated that even with some states hiking pay for those earning at least, they're still nowhere near enough to make a living for one to afford at least a two-bedroom decent apartment in the United States. The same thing goes to say that Bloom on CNBC stated that one would have to work at over 40 hours a week and able to live a median two-bedroom apartment, according to new research by the new Low Income Housing Coalition that covers by the Washington Post. Even full-time workers currently don't even will have to work twice as much to actually afford a typical home. Lastly, the same thing would have to be said that a minimum wage worker can't afford to buy a two-bedroom apartment anywhere in the United States, even though she even said that even though the economy is booming, but even with the recent minimum wage growth for the lowest workers, they're still nowhere near enough to at least afford an apartment, let alone buy a one-bedroom apartment either. It is estimated. Even Kurtz mentioned that one would have to work at least 2.5 jobs to actually sustain, in order for one to afford either a one or two bedroom apartment anywhere in the United States. For that, he even estimated that they would have to be working at least $17.90 per hour in order to do so. I'll consider that one would have to work at least a 99-hour work week, which accumulates to 52 weeks a year on total nonstop. Even one would say that even Gibson in one article in the same website, CBS News, mentioned that in order for one to actually receive a one-bedroom apartment anywhere in San Francisco, you would have to make $22.10 an hour in order to do so, working at least 2 jobs every day for 52 weeks. For workability, even if the minimum wage could be raised, we could see that it could present more problems for most of us instead of benefiting, it could increase layoffs, as we see that even Gorilla wrote that in New York there's a restaurant in New York that seems to be promoting more layoffs as they increase the $15 minimum wage. Even Finn of the Employment Politics Institute mentioned that in order for wages to be increased, someone would have to pay out more money, but employers need to maintain a profit margin to stay in business. Wherever wages are increased, employers tend to compensate by cutting jobs, usually entry-level positions. It is also possible that this could actually increase poverty, as Lahr of the Washington Examiner mentions that the study led by the University of California, Irvine, stated that over the decade, higher minimum wages don't reduce poverty in disadvantaged neighborhoods. Rather, the analysts found that a $1 increase in minimum wage raises poverty rates and government dependencies by about 3%. Even on the same website, it is stated that in research by economists Dr. Richard Berkson and Joseph Sabia of Cornell University found that the majority of beneficiaries from Senator Kerry's proposed minimum wage increase to $7 an hour are not living in poverty. In reality, beneficiaries are more likely to be living in families earning 3 times the poverty line than poorer families. It could also increase the prices of goods and living costs to do so. Finally, Ressler of the Washington Times said that to pay higher hourly wages without running in the head. Most businesses would have to raise prices or cut costs. The latter is done through layoffs, reducing worker hours or benefits, raising prices, foregoing investments in the business. None of those things is good for workers or both businesses' long-term success. Even with prisoners giving minimum wages, it doesn't seem to benefit them in any way as it's something that we're currently experiencing for ourselves. Thanks.